You're now listening to the show about the shit in life that's just a bit too much from the perspective of stand-up comics. With our hosts, Carmelo Bongiovi and Ken Krantz. This week's topic, for $1 million. With our guest, Mike Sicoli. This is A Bit Too Much.
Last time we had this conversation about how hungry we were, which was about 2 weeks ago. I was so fucking hungry that night that we did a show at Spot Castle. I was so hungry, and there was nothing fucking open, and I went to McDonald's after.
No shame in that. Did you get their Krispy Kremes?
There's not supposed to be shame in it, but I made sure to call and shame him.
And then he called back with the appropriate amount of time, like after he knew I would have finished that meal.
I waited till I knew he was done.
And he was like, "What'd you get, fatty?"
It's so good. McDonald's is just so good. Wendy's, amazing. But McDonald's has Krispy Kreme donuts now.
Yeah.
Have you gotten them?
No, I didn't know that.
I have.
Like burgers? Because like people make burgers.
No.
Krispy
They
Kreme
have
donuts.
you could get a box of 6 Krispy Kreme donuts.
No, I don't track what McDonald's is doing anymore. Anytime I end up at a McDonald's, it's like an act of desperation.
It's
I'm like,
so
fuck.
good though. It is so good.
What's your favorite fast food?
My favorite fast food? I mean, McDonald's is a go-to. Wendy's is the best quality, but there's something about McDonald's. You become addicted to it.
There's something crack-like about McDonald's that's like, it's something, there's just like a distinct taste to all their food that is just kind of addictive. Which I'm pretty sure it is addictive.
But the second you're done eating it, you're filled with so much shame and disgust.
Yeah. Especially as you get older. It's the shame.
Breakfast, there's no other fast food that even comes close to McDonald's breakfast.
Not even close.
Good. So good. And I know Taco Bell apparently has amazing breakfast. I've never tried.
Do
they?
Yeah. You know what I did have?
Never tried Wendy's breakfast either.
Neither have I. But you know what I have tried? And you guys are going to judge me a little bit. White Castle's breakfast.
I've had that.
Oh, really?
So good.
I didn't know they had breakfast.
Yeah, good. All day. You can get it whenever you want.
White Castle also has a surf and turf burger that's not bad.
That's disgusting.
I know.
Dude, do you want to die? Like, what is it? That sounds like the way you die.
It's a burger and a fish patty.
All right, but it's White Castle. I can't talk shit because
like a fast food fish patty.
Yeah.
Like
a little fillet of fish with a little burger.
I get the fillet of fish.
Fillet of fish is fucking excellent.
I fuck with the fillet of fish. Everybody judges me for it, but I don't.
Fillet of fish with cheese?
That's one I don't do. I know people like it. I'm not a like. I would do that kind of sandwich at like a restaurant, but the idea of the fast food fish scares me.
So good.
I just feel like I'm gonna get food.
I haven't had one in years.
Probably not because it's probably like fake.
I don't think you'll ever get food poisoning from McDonald's.
That's probably a good point.
The food goes so quick that I don't think it's.
Well, it's also like there's just shit in it to prevent that.
Yeah,
they've got you shit your pants for other reasons.
You'll get cancer, but not food poisoning.
You guys ever see? Right. You ever see the McDonald's movie, the Founder?
Yeah.
That whole thing was just
movie.
a commercial for McDonald's.
How good was that movie?
It was
I've
great.
I've seen that movie 20 times.
It was awesome.
Dude, I'm such a fat ass that Super Size Me was a commercial for McDonald's. Like, I remember when that documentary came out and everyone was like, oh my God, this guy's like killing himself because he got all of his medical reports at the end. It's like he's dying.
He did. His liver almost went.
And I'm like, I just wanted fucking McDonald's after. Because I just
so
watched this guy. Because I'm like, I'm not going to eat it every day, like 3 meals a day, like a psychopath.
Yeah, that's how I feel when I watch The Founder. The burgers look so good. I get it.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal.
But this is not, when I think fast, like when you say like what's best fast food, it's like those are you're thinking either McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger, like the ones that have been around forever, right? But there are better
Burger
ones.
King's gross.
But now there's better ones. No, yeah, it is.
It used to be so much better.
But now there's better ones like that are more like elevated, like Shake Shack is a great.
Yeah, but it's not. It's expensive.
It's not the same.
It's expensive.
But it doesn't feel like a fast food burger as much.
No.
As like a McDonald's burger.
You know what's one of the worst? Roy Rogers. Remember Roy Rogers?
I liked Roy Rogers.
There was one in my neighborhood. Was the only. I feel like there was like probably one in all of Queens, and I used to go to it because it was like in my neighborhood growing up, and I remember loving it. But I feel like all I got was like chicken nuggets and fries. What else did they have at Roy Rogers?
The cheeseburger was good at Roy Rogers that I remember, and they had fried chicken. that was also really good.
They were always so sad. There was one Roy Rogers I remember.
Oh, the inside of Roy
up.
Rogers is sad.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
There was one that I remember growing up in the East Brunswick Square Mall, and there was always like 3 people in it. The lights were dimmer than the rest of the mall.
Yeah, because they couldn't afford to keep it on full blast.
Yeah, it was just a sad scene. And I'll never eat at a fucking Roy Rogers. And now Burger King's becoming Roy Rogers.
Yeah, you know what?
It's on its way out.
There's a Burger King 2 minutes from my house that I have hit. I've lived there, I think I'm coming up on 3 years, and maybe I've hit it 5 times. But I know if that was like a McDonald's or a Wendy's, I would be 20 pounds heavier.
Yeah. When I was a kid, like, we knew McDonald's was better for us, but we didn't understand like, it was before, like, people understood that there was, like, that pink paste that they make the chicken nuggets with. Like, all this shit hasn't come out. We just knew it was like, oh, it's burgers and fries. That's not good for you. Like, we didn't really understand, I think, how, like, chemically induced it all was. And I remember being so obsessed with McDonald's as a kid. There was one that was, like, 10 blocks from my house. It was just like straight up that avenue I lived on. And I was there. I fucking knew everything McDonald's was releasing. Like, when I was a kid and I would ride my bike to McDonald's, I was like, oh, they have like the McRibs back or the fucking chickens. At one point I remember they had like chicken selects, it was called.
I remember those.
It was just chicken fingers. Like, that's all it was.
But not chicken nuggets.
But because they weren't chicken McNuggets, they were like, it was like special, you know, and I would get so excited.
Do you remember the McDLT?
No.
So the McDLT was, I hate that I'm this old. The McDLT was, they wanted to come up with something that competed with the Whopper. And what they came up with was, it was just a fucking cheeseburger that you had to do the work for. So they advertised it as hot and cold at the same time. And it came in a styrofoam container with the bun and the patty with the cheese on one side, the lettuce, tomato, onion on the other, to keep the hot half hot and the cold half cold.
Yeah.
And then you would build the cheeseburger yourself. All they did was repackage a cheeseburger where you had to do the work, and people lost their minds for it.
Why was it called that?
It was... I always thought it was supposed to be like a BLT because of the lettuce and tomato, and they were just spinning it. But I just watched a 30-minute documentary on YouTube about the history of the McDLT. If you go... No.
What is your fucking algorithm?
I will tell you...
That is 100% a fucking weed-induced...
No, I will tell you why, because this sandwich has been living rent-free in my head. It came out in the 80s, and I think by 1990... The styrofoam, there was so much styrofoam needed to make this that all the environmentalists started losing their shit and protesting, and McDonald's finally had to shut it down.
They couldn't come up with another package?
Yeah, but then you couldn't do it where you could keep the hot and the cold together.
God.
If you go on YouTube and put in McDLT commercial, you're going to see a young Jason Alexander singing and dancing through the entire thing.
Got it. Nice.
I'll pass.
But
I'm all right.
But I've been
That's just Jason Alexander, by the way. If you looked up this movie with Jason Alexander, he's just singing and dancing through the whole thing.
No, it's just a commercial.
Yeah.
It's the McDLT commercial. Yeah. I have used, anytime somebody says something is hot and cold for 30-something years, I'm like, oh, like the McDLT. Nobody knows what my brother knows what I'm talking about, because and literally no one else does. And my kids are so fucking sick of hearing about it. Like the temple that I went to growing up. I went back there recently because my mom wanted to take my daughter to like Purim services or something, and I went there, and our temple is now leasing space in one of their wings to a church.
Interesting.
So I'm like, oh, it's like a McDLT of religion. So anytime any of the kids say something's hot and cold or something makes them happy and sad, I'm like, oh, like the McDLT.
And no one.
My stepdaughter fucking snapped on me a couple months ago. She was like, shut up about the McDLT. Nobody knows what you're talking about. Nobody cares about some sandwich from the 80s.
By the way, appropriate response. Like,
yeah. And then I was like, well, then why is there a half-hour documentary on it on YouTube?
I don't think I'd watch a half. You know what I would watch a half-hour
You just watched a 2-hour movie about the founder. You can't spend 30 minutes on one of the sandwiches?
That's how one of the biggest companies in the United States was formed.
Yeah, you watch it on one sandwich. You watch a thing in one.
If there was a documentary about a pork roll, egg, and cheese, I'd watch it. It's my favorite food of all time.
It is fucking great.
Yeah.
And I will say, because I didn't grow up eating pork roll, egg, and cheese, because it was New York and New Jersey. Like, it's not a New York thing.
No,
bacon, egg, and
it's
cheese
like
is a New York
exclusively
thing.
Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a bacon, egg, and cheese on a roll specifically is
I'll
like the
take
New
you
York
at-
breakfast sandwich.
Yes, yeah.
Pork roll, I mean, bacon's great, but pork roll, egg, and cheese.
Something
it's
about
fucking, It's just the best.
I'll
Yeah.
take you after this. I'll take you for the best one you've
Crust?
ever had. Yep.
I knew you were going to say that.
I keep telling you.
Ken told me 5 different times we hung out how good their bread is. And he's like, crust is great. I'm at home in bed one night scrolling on Instagram, and I just see him in here handing out the boxes. He's like, check this out. Check out crust. It's like, is he fucking working for these people?
I should
Are they
be.
They should sponsor the
We did
podcast.
basically have an entire episode that was an ad for Krantz.
Yeah.
It was with Casey
He
Webb.
loves this place.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah,
I had their cheesesteak the other day.
Is it good?
It's fucking good.
Damn. I'll
do,
go
do
with
you,
you
Do you
after
know
this.
about Cooper Sharp cheese?
Yeah.
That's what they're using in the
There isn't a
cheesesteaks.
cheese I don't know. That's all right. Look who you're looking at.
I
right
know.
I
now.
love cheese
I'm
too,
fucking
dude.
disgusting.
It's like asking Rain Man if he knows about People's Court.
Yeah. Do I know Cooper Sharp cheese? That's not even a challenging one.
I don't know about Cooper Sharp, but I love cheese. A charcuterie board.
Yeah.
We were talking on the last episode
It'll
about
literally kill me.
relationships
That's going
and
to be
shit.
how I die.
That's the only reason I want to be in a relationship is
Yeah.
because I know like girls love making charcuterie boards. Some supersod, some cheddar, parmesan. Oh, dude,
That's where you're going to fatten up. You get in a relationship with
fine.
somebody who will, appreciate. That's you'll get that relationship way because you'll just be eating so much of that.
It's fine with me. I love food. I just love to eat.
Me and my wife took the kids into Asbury one day, and we're just like checking out all the thrift shops. And my daughter walks over, and I didn't realize when we walked in, but one of them had like a paraphernalia section.
Mm-hmm.
And so she walks over and picks up a weed tray. I forget what the design was, but it was clearly, it's with the paraphernalia. It's a weed tray. She picks up a weed tray, and she's like, I love this charcuterie board. Will you get it for me? And I was like,
In many
no.
ways.
I was like,
Depending on who you're talking to.
Yeah.
Could also be a charcuterie board.
Right.
Some nice buds on there, a little bit of wax on there. Wheat charcuterie. She might be onto something.
It's a weed sugar.
She might be onto something.
Tasting here.
You got to start. You know what? You got to start. Someone's going to steal this idea. You have to start an Instagram where you have little weed trays, but make a charcuterie board out of just weed. Like you're going to the dispensary after
Or it
this.
could just be drugs in general.
Drugs. Throw some edibles on there.
You see some mushrooms on the charcuterie tray sometimes, right?
That would
Put some
be.
mushrooms.
I would watch that. People love it. It's like food porn, but for weed.
Yeah.
You know how many views that'd probably get? A lot.
That show we did, I was so fucking hungry.
Mm-hmm.
It tainted my entire. All I could think about the entire fucking night was how hungry I was.
Yeah.
I was driving because I was stuck in really bad traffic going to the gig, and I was the whole time mad. I was so mad because I thought I was going to get there early enough to eat something.
Yeah.
he was texting me that morning about how he knew he was going to be hungry.
Of course. Yeah. I get
He
like
was
that
like,
every
I'm
time
going to
too.
be ravenous after the show. I had to read it twice. I'm like,
said
did you just say
ravenous.
ravenous? Like,
Yeah.
you're a grown man.
which
Get
is the
your shit
gayest way to say
together.
you're
It's pretty
hungry.
gay. Yeah.
I'm going to be.
I am ravenous.
Ravenous.
I get it though, because
Hungry wouldn't have described.
Yeah.
Or starving. Because also, what I said to you was like, I can't say starving. Because I'm fat. I don't starve. Right? Like, my fat's got to eat itself before I starve. Like, I'm not going to just be hungry. So I was hoping to get there early enough. Because there were restaurants right there that just close early.
Yeah.
And then we hit that fucking time where, like, the gig's ending too late for us to be able to eat at any of these places. But I didn't get here early enough to eat at any of these places. And it was just all the whole time I was like, I'm so hungry.
I can't
so
eat
hungry.
before
I could
shows
fucking-
like at all because
I do
I feel like
every time.
shit every time I eat. No matter what I eat, I'll feel bad.
I'm so used to feeling like shit
Yeah.
that I just like it's just I live in it. I'm like, okay, horrible heartburn before I go up there. That's just what it is.
I'm worried that like I know that there's like a bunch of people they take these tests now where they like stick a couple needles in your arm and what everyone raises is what you're allergic to, like gluten or like if you're allergic to like certain sugars or
Yeah.
shit like that. I know that if I do that, I'm gonna be allergic to a lot of shit. So I'm purposely not doing it.
Just don't do it. Ignore it.
So that I don't, because then it becomes real.
Yeah.
You know, then it's like, oh shit, I really shouldn't be eating this
Something you don't want to find out until you're hospitalized.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
I agree with you.
It's too late.
I agree with you. The food the food you're enjoying is more important.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the highlight of that night was for me?
What's up?
It was Mike talking about wanting to bang your father-in-law.
I forgot all about that.
Oh, we didn't.
That
Me
shit
and
was
Waldo.
funny,
Me and
dude.
Waldo had a conversation
One
that
of the
carried into
weirdest-
the next day.
How did that start?
I don't really know.
I
But
remember exactly how it started.
Did you?
Yes.
It was a weird. It was. I don't remember. Yeah, okay. How did it start? 'Cause I don't remember.
Your mother-in-law came out
Yeah.
to use the bathroom, and she stopped and was
And said
talking.
hi. Yeah.
She stopped and said hello
Yeah.
and was
Yeah.
like joking around with it. She seemed like a very lovely
Very sweet.
lady.
Yeah, she is.
She's a very attractive lady. And
I think I remember now.
yes,
Oh, you commented on her being attractive.
I said she was
That's
hot.
right. Okay.
I
And
could
then
tell
you
you-
were like, well, you're gonna have to, deal with my stepdad, and I was like, I'll fuck him too.
no. I
That's
remember
that.
this is how
Father-in-law.
it.
Father-in-law. Sorry.
I said you were like, oh, you could tell she's hot. You could tell she was like real hot when she was younger. And I said to Carmelo, like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if Mike banged your mother-in-law and then became your new father-in-law? And then you said, well, that's my wife's father's
Right.
second
His
wife.
second wife,
So
right,
it's her stepmom. So that wouldn't actually affect me. So then I was like, well, then Mike, you should fuck his dad and get in that way.
Fuck her dad. Yeah.
And that's
right.
you should fuck her dad. And then that's when things went
And
very off the rails.
Because that comment, right? Like,
I didn't think it was going to lead to all this.
Right, it's one of those things. It's one of those things where you make that joke and then everyone's ha, and it just goes away. But you took us down this fucking rabbit hole or rabbit butthole of scenario where you were like, I should do that, and I was like, and it kept going and it escalated to this point of we started debating because I started saying like, look, he could set you up financially, and I was like, but you're gonna have to bottom.
Yeah, not
And
happening.
that's where the conversation got really interesting.
Yeah, because I was like, no,
You refused.
absolutely not.
That's where
You had so many. What's the word I'm trying to?
Reasons why I wouldn't.
No, you just had like a list of demands.
Oh, yeah,
and it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
wait, no, this dude's gonna set you up
he's the sugar
financially.
daddy.
Yes.
he's the
Like,
sugar
this
daddy.
is-
You don't have much say in this.
Not true. Because if they're sugar daddies, so I don't know how many like girls Well, so a lot of women my age will get messages from sugar daddies.
Yeah, potential
like,
sugar
hey,
daddy.
and they all
Sugar
sound
daddy
the exact
prospects.
same.
Yeah.
They all sound the exact same. The messages are always like, "Hey, I think you're very beautiful. Would you like to be my sugar baby?
Mm-hmm.
You'll have an allowance of this much money. You don't have to do anything. You're not
Yeah.
forced to do anything. I just want to take care of you." That's what the messages are always.
Yeah, right.
Right now, whether they're real or not, I don't know. But if I was going to be someone's sugar baby, I would be giving the demands because you're coming to me.
Yeah, but
I'm not bottoming.
But it's just like it's just like if a recruiter reached out to you for a job, they promise you have your demands up front.
Yeah. Right.
But eventually, you're just a bitch who works for them.
Well, then it's
like
not-
that's the thing is eventually, but then you're gonna get used to the lifestyle. You
Got to
get
know
used
your
to the money.
value. Got to
We
know
were
your
telling
value.
Mike, like, you could quit your day job. You can focus on comedy. All you got to do is, like, bang Carmelo's father-in-law.
No, get
like,
banged
that's-
by is
Get
my-
banged
See,
by.
very, very different.
And then you were like, absolutely not.
Very different. Yeah. Never.
I think
you were
I
like,
don't think you're being realistic.
you
If
said
let me put it
you
this
said
way.
you'd let him blow you and jerk you off, but that's it.
Let me put it this way.
That was your only concession.
Let me tell you this. I'm a 33-year-old man. I have the same fears as probably a 15-year-old girl. I don't like spiders and I don't want to be raped. Those are my two
I
fears.
think that goes for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Not the spiders, but the don't rape me part.
I don't want to get
Yeah, but
fucked.
it's not a living fear of like I don't think I'm gonna get raped.
But that's
Like-
not. But it's not a rape scenario.
No, but he might. He's attractive
not
enough.
from your
He might-
father-in-law.
He might. No, not him.
I'm saying that scenario.
Yeah.
He seemed gentle. I mean, I don't know him.
He was pretty big.
He's tall. He's
a tall
guy.
dude.
Yeah, he's a tall guy.
It's not going to feel nice. I don't want to get. I'm not bottoming for anybody. Look, if I were to go to prison tomorrow for something, right? If I were to go to prison, I wouldn't be worried about the loneliness, not seeing my family.
I don't think anyone's
getting
worried about
fucking
that.
stabbed during lunch, worried about who I'm going to sit with. I would just be worried about my asshole the entire fucking
the
time.
prison scenario.
I go to
you're
prison,
right.
I am murdering somebody, whether they deserve it or not, my first probably 3 days.
You're getting passed around like
no
currency
shot.
inside
No
4
way.
seconds.
You would
No
be
way, dude. I'm killing
such
everybody
a fucking
then.
prison snack.
Nah.
Dude, you would. Dude, they would fuck. You would be.
Dude.
You would be a pocket pussy.
That's
You
where
would
your good
literally
looks
be-
work against you.
Yeah,
Dude, I would.
Me and Carmelo would probably be all right in prison.
No, you wouldn't. What makes you both think that you would be all right in prison?
Because I don't think anyone's looking
not
at me
that
like,
fuckable.
yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're fuckable or not. They're not all gay. They just
but they're
want
not
somewhere
gonna
to put their
be
dick.
clamoring over us. Like we might get fucked sometimes.
That's right, yeah. You occasionally in the
Right.
shower.
Yeah.
That's enough, is it not?
You know, I'd have a false sense of security. I'm like, no one wants to fuck this fat ass, right? And I'd be in the fucking shower, and then I'd
yeah,
probably
but
get
like,
fucked one day.
Dude, you just
right?
said no one wants to fuck this fat ass. It sounds like a
You're not-
commercial for your ass. That sounds like no one
Yeah,
wants
but
to
it's just
fuck
a fat
this
ass.
fat ass, this fat juicy ass that I got. No one wants to slip into these hams. Yeah, they
is-
do.
No,
It
but
is
no,
wonderful.
all right, not this fat ass. This fat ass.
Okay.
Not this fat ass.
Dude, some
I'm a
guys
fat
like 'em
ass.
big, some guys like big girls.
I'm saying-
But no, I'm saying, and then I would get fucked, right? But like once, maybe once every 6 months, I'd get fucked. You'd get fucked twice a day.
No.
If you put you, me, Carmelo in prison and you say, all right, fellas, you can have one of them.
Yeah.
I feel like most of them are going with you.
Every one of them.
We may check. There may be a couple people that got like weird old man fetishes that we would check off.
Right.
First of all, thank you for
well,
saying
you're
that
a
I
huge
would be the
compliment.
most desired.
I would
I
go
think
as far as saying they're all going to take them at once. Like,
I know
gangbang you.
the rules to prison rape. All right, I know the rules.
What are
Don't
those?
fart. Don't fart in prison.
Yeah.
Because they fuck you. That's like
That's sending out pheromones.
It's a yeah,
fart.
It's a mating. It's
yeah, it's like a bird call.
They're
Yeah,
like, oh, he's presenting.
that's like the mail
We all
slot
know
when you put
Gabe
the
for a
flag
minute.
up.
We all know Gabe for a minute. That
I'm
means
not-
he's ready.
Hey, let's just agree to not put any clips of this episode out while we're here.
Nah, they're all. I want them. Listen, if I were to go to prison, I would change immediately. As soon as I stepped foot in that, I would change, and I would turn into probably like the craziest psychopath you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Just so I don't get fucked, dude.
Yeah. But do you think that would stop you from getting fucked?
I would have to work probably harder
You think
than
that
most.
you can reach a level of psychopath faster than
Absolutely.
faster than they could fuck the shit out of you multiple
And that's
times?
all they're in there doing that. Like they're already
Dude,
professionals.
I don't care if I have to eat somebody alive.
Oh, they'll eat you alive.
They could try. I mean,
I
I'm gonna
like
be,
that he'll do all this, but he won't be a bottom for your
Yeah,
father-in-law
right. This is-
for
your
money.
logic- your
like
logic
for
is very
a
twisted.
wonderful lifestyle.
That's how sure I
Very
am.
comfortable. I mean, not comfortable in that moment, but like very comfortable life. You'd
don't
be
know,
driving
dude.
a luxury car.
It's just so terrifying to me that sometimes I think that I might have been molested or some shit, but I don't remember. I must have blacked it out because
You were definitely
I
molested.
can't even watch movies where that happens. I just feel I get such anxiety, like, oh God. So sometimes
That's how
I
you're
think,
supposed to feel about molestation.
yeah, like American History X. Oh, I can't watch that
That's
part.
a tough movie to rewatch.
That's a rough one, yeah. What other movies people get?
No, dude.
Deliverance?
No. Wait, the one with the fucking
Deliverance was tough.
Oh, what's one I'm thinking with Kevin Bacon? They fucking killed. The guy
Oh,
with
that
the hot
movie
dog
was
cart.
fucked up. Sleepers.
Oh,
Sleepers.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
dude.
That's one where that's a hard one.
That
to
movie
watch.
made me hate Kevin Bacon. Bro,
Yeah.
funny, I'm so glad you brought this movie up. One time, I'm like 13 years old. That movie's old, right?
Yeah.
De Niro's
Yeah,
in that
it's
movie. He
90s.
plays a priest who doesn't do the molesting, which is crazy. But
Yeah, the only one in this movie that's
how you know it was
all
acting.
the prison guards. So the movie
Yeah.
is basically I used to go out and I used to skateboard with my friends every day. We used to go around town and skateboard, right? So my
Flaunting that
stepmother
ass, you know?
sometimes my stepmother sometimes I felt like didn't really like me but faked it. So she's like, I just saw this movie the other day. I really think you should watch it. So I'm like, all right, like cool, it's a movie. So we all sit down, me and my dad
recommended
and my
Sleepers?
stepmom sit down together to watch it. My dad has never seen this either, this movie.
But she had.
She'd seen it. So she puts the movie on, and the first part of the movie is this kid goes out with his friends. Like I used to go out with my friends. They go around like New York. they eventually kill somebody by mistake. They let
The
a
hot dog cart.
hot
Yeah,
dog
yeah,
cart
yeah,
down
yeah.
the stairs, and it kills
Yeah,
this guy. So
yeah.
they all go to this prison, and then they all get sexually assaulted in this prison, but they're little kids. It's
by the
horrible.
prison- by the
and
guards.
they
By the
show,
guards, yeah.
by the guards.
was
One of
by
them was
Kevin
Kevin
Bacon,
Bacon,
right? Yeah.
Right.
but they showed way more of it than you thought that they were going to show. Have you ever seen this movie?
I saw it in the theater, yeah.
The rape
Oh my
scenes are
God.
graphic. Like
Fucking
they're,
terrible.
Like they're like close-ups of his face while he's like supposed
So
to.
we're sitting there watching it. One of the worst parts in the movie, where they're like, I'm not going to tell you what happens, but one of the worst parts in the movie, my dad pauses it and he's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you that you wanted to sit us all down and watch?" And I'm sitting there like, "Why did you say you wanted me to watch it? Like, you think I'm going to kill somebody with a hot dog wagon? We live in New Jersey. Like, that's not going to happen." There's no hot dog wagons around. She's basically telling me like,
this is never gonna happen to me. There's no hot dog wagon.
yeah, it's like she wanted to scare me from going out with my friends. Like, you go out skateboarding with your friends, Kevin Bacon's gonna butt rape you in some place. But one of the
You'd
scariest
only be
movies.
so lucky if it was Kevin Bacon.
I can't watch a movie
It'd
with
be
him
like, oh,
to this
now I
day.
got 1 degree of Kevin Bacon.
Right.
Yeah,
the degree is right in my ass.
terrifying. Stephen King too. It was a Stephen King book originally.
Oh, is it a Stephen King?
Yeah,
book?
yeah.
What was?
Sleepers.
Sleepers
Yeah,
was?
he wrote it.
I didn't know
It
that.
doesn't feel
I never
Stephen
heard that.
King-ish. You
No,
know,
there's
like,
no-
it's not like a horror. I mean, it's horrifying, but it's not.
I will say that was one of the most uncomfortable movies I've ever watched, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a fucking rough one.
Yeah,
And then then when they all grow up and they're going like then like the redemption story it's a good movie.
Well, the beginning.
But that first half was fucking rough.
Yeah, well, the beginning of the movie, there's 2 Hell's Angels going to this bar, and Kevin Bacon's just sitting there eating, and they walk past him, and then they're like, "Yo, is that what's his name?" And then they just go up to him, and they light him up, and they kill him,
Yeah.
and then you find out why. You don't know why at first.
Right.
Yeah.
That movie's the opposite of Full Metal Jacket. Where you don't want to, you only want to watch the beginning of Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah.
You only want to watch the end of Sleeper. The beginning of Sleeper.
They should make a
fucking
director's
rough.
cut where you get the first half of Full Metal
Yeah.
and then the second half of Sleepers and
Right.
figure out how to
or
tie
put
it
them together where when he's getting hit with the soap, it's really Kevin Bacon fucking him.
I remember when I was a kid, I used to watch. I used to get really scared. I used to get freaked out by a lot of shit. My dad used to tell me my house was haunted and ghosts. I was big into ghosts. I was telling you before. Love ghosts and shit. But at night when I was alone, I would get scared. So I would throw the Disney Channel on because Disney wouldn't show any commercials outside of Disney. So there's no horror movie commercials that sneak up on you or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I'd throw that on. So a friend of mine, nowadays, he's like, I'm so sick of watching all these TV shows with all these gay sex scenes all the time. It's always dudes fucking each other, right? So I was like, just put on Disney Plus. You're not going to see any of that.
Yeah.
But these days, that's on everything in Disney Plus. It's just those
You're not
relationships.
seeing guys getting fucked.
No, you're not seeing
Disney
guys getting
Plus.
fucked, but like Mickey and Donald maybe
You might see,
have a relationship now
a
because
gay
everything
relationship in a movie,
everything
yeah.
in Disney's gay. So it's like you can't even do that.
But is that what he's trying to avoid? Just anything gay?
I don't know because I have
This
that
is anything
feeling.
that looks gay.
I have that feeling about like all sex. I'm just so sick of watching people fuck on TV and movies.
Yeah, because it's not even good enough to want to watch it.
It's not good,
just
like-
bad sex scenes.
Yeah.
and most of the times it's not. You could tell that they just forced it in there to like get
Right.
a little scandal.
We
And you're
like when
"This
we
is not
grew
good."
up, like 80s, 90s, you had to have sex scenes in your movies.
Yeah.
Like every act, like
And they were the same sex scene. Every sex scene was exactly the same, where the guy slowly like lowers himself, and then it's like just some like
Yeah.
some fucking horrible groans, and then
Well,
it's,
this is a
it's over
coke-addled
3
80s,
minutes, and then they wake
right?
up under the sheets together. It's the same scene
Yeah.
in every fucking movie. They never switched it up until Sleepers, and then they were like, "I got a sex scene
Oh
for
yeah,
you."
because
That'll-
you know those people don't. They're at work. Like they don't really want to be rubbing around each other naked. For example,
Yeah.
like you kind of know these celebrities outside of the movies, right? You know this one's married to this one. This one's married to this one. Sinners. You hear about Sinners?
I haven't seen it
the
yet.
show.
No, the movie. The movie
Michael
is
B.
Michael B.
Jordan?
Jordan. It's like that vampire movie.
Oh no!
So he's in this movie and he has like a sex scene or something with
Okay.
Haley. What's her name?
Seinfeld?
Haley Steinfeld.
Steinfeld.
Super hot. Has a sex scene with her or something like that. But her husband's Josh Allen. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the
So like
Bills.
Josh Allen's got to be a supportive husband, and go sit down and watch Michael B. Jordan like fucking his
what a cuck.
wife.
Yeah.
But like, if you like football and Josh Allen's like one of the best. He's the MVP last year.
Yeah, like it's not even like, well, it's her job. She needs the money. Like she doesn't need the money.
She doesn't need the money, but like she like spits in his mouth in one part, and you're like, Jesus Christ, that's Josh Allen's wife. How could you do that to him? But it's so weird to see.
Yeah, and
these people.
and money doesn't motivate you for sex, right?
You know what I notice about most movies with like gay sex scenes? The gay sex scenes are the least gay part of the movie. Like that's usually the part that bothers. Like I tried watching that Elton John movie.
Yeah.
The gay sex scenes were fine. It was all the singing and dancing that I was like, oh, this is gay.
You went to see a fucking Elton John movie.
Yeah.
Of course it's going to be gay.
I'd argue that you going to see it was gayer than the movie itself.
I didn't go to see it. I watched the first half hour on TV, but I didn't know it was
You're
a
right,
musical.
it's not gay if it's on your own couch. Like if you watch gay porn.
I didn't know it was a
on your own
musical.
couch, it would be
Oh
that
man,
gay.
you know which one?
You have to go through that much effort.
What was brutal? It's so crazy because it seems like if you want to become a Marvel superhero, you got to get butt fucked in another movie before that happens.
Is that how it works?
I know so many Marvel superheroes that have been in like heavy gay sex scenes. Like name Robert Downey Jr. He was blowing people in Less Than Zero for drugs. Remember that?
Yeah.
Kind of ruined his career, I think, for a little bit.
I don't think that's what did it.
Well, that wasn't what did it, but it didn't help.
I think there were some other mitigating
It's the
factors.
opposite now, though. It used to like kind of hurt your career a little bit, and now it's like you flourish after you do
What other
it.
actors in Marvel movies get fucked?
Tom Holland.
Oh, I don't even know.
What he get?
Tom Holland was in a movie where he had split personalities, and one of them was gay, which has got to be like really hard.
That's hilarious.
That's the oldest
That's
excuse
hilarious.
in the book. It
Yeah.
wasn't me.
It was
who-
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal's
Because he was
another
in the
one.
Spider-Man
He's
movie,
another
right,
one.
right. Okay, that's another one.
See,
Heath Ledger?
Brokeback Mountain. The gay sex scenes didn't bother me. What I felt was gay was like riding a horse,
No, that's cool.
hiking,
Or they're just like cuddling.
camping was
Yeah, yeah.
like.
That's a manly thing. A cowboy. That's like a manly thing. Well, I mean, getting butt fucked really does seem probably like a pretty manly thing.
It's a pretty manly. That's what I'm saying. You could bottom.
I'm not letting your fucking
No,
whatever he is, father-in-law, butt fuck me.
What if it was like $1 million a year job?
Yeah.
Do I have to do it once? No.
No, that's your job.
No,
You gotta, like, when he's-
not once. This is a life.
This is your job.
Because you're gonna have a. But think about it. Just stop. Just don't jump in and say no.
Okay.
Listen.
All right.
Because
I love that right now Carmelo's trying to negotiate how to get you to agree.
but just hear this whole scenario, okay? Because I feel like you get very defensive.
No. I'll hear you out. Yeah.
All right.
I'm not gay, by the way. I don't know if we've.
No,
covered
we
this.
know.
Jury's out.
All right.
You have to get butt fucked, right? Okay. That's just a part of this.
Okay.
Right? Like it's just a part of this. Put that over there.
Right.
You know, you will live in a real. You'll have your own place. You don't have to live with him.
Yeah, he's gonna like
You have
set you
your
up.
Own
nice
fucking
condo.
Dream. Now maybe more than a condo.
Okay.
Maybe more than a condo. I'm talking
More than
about
a
a nice
condo.
little house. All right.
Little house.
I mean, I don't know if it's a mansion, but it's gonna be a nice
All right,
house.
I got a house.
All right, you got a nice house.
Right.
In a neighborhood you want to live in.
Okay.
Right. Get a nice car.
All right.
Okay. And not like fucking. Like an upgraded Toyota. I'm like a
Like-
nice,
like an
a really
Infinity.
nice
I
car.
get a nice car.
Yeah, get a nice car.
Okay, what else?
What, if you had money right now, what's the car you'd want?
I just got a new car, so far this isn't looking too promising.
No. All right. Yeah, but what car do you want?
What car do I want?
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, would you want a Range Rover?
I don't know. I'm not picking. Like he gives me my dream car. I'm not picky when it comes to
Okay.
cars.
Okay. So let's. You got your dream car.
Yeah.
You live in a really nice house.
Okay.
Right. Your clothes are like you got the outfit you want to wear. You got the food you want to eat. You got the things you want in life. You got the jewel, whatever the fuck your things are. Sneakers. What do you like to indulge in financially? Like if you have extra money in your pocket, what do you like to buy?
Yeah, shoes, food, clothes.
Right.
You're getting all that.
Okay, I'm
And
getting
all that
this.
nice, really nice shit, right?
Okay, yes.
You don't have to worry about your fucking bills. You're not going to be stressed out
You
over
get
any
some
of that.
walking
I get
around
it. Everything
some walking around
in my
money.
life will be good.
Yeah.
Right.
Financially,
Okay.
will be very.
You
good.
can focus on stand up. You don't have to work during the day. You
Yeah.
don't have to worry about
I could focus on stand up, but I'm probably not going to be able to stand up. Right? Is that what you're saying to me?
No, you're not gonna be able to sit down. Standing
okay.
will be
All
fine.
right.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you've got this life carved out for you that is going to be very, very comfortable.
Sit around
And you
make
also
it.
find out he's also putting a little aside for you because he's older than you, so he's putting some aside for you. So when he goes, you're gonna also.
How
have a
long
little,
am I doing this for? This is going to be years?
Hold on a second. You're still focusing on the
How-
butt fucking. Hold on. All you're worried about is your precious little ass. Give me a second, all right? So now you got this little bank account that's collecting some interest for you. You're gonna be fucking set up.
Yeah.
This is not just like, here's $100 because I fucked you. This is not some horror shit. All
Yeah,
right?
right.
This is high end escort shit. And you're set up. You've got to take it up the ass twice a week.
Twice a week?
Yeah, dude.
Absolutely not. Here's why.
Bi-weekly.
No.
Twice a month.
Yeah, he's bi.
Twice a month. You're going to be set up. You're going
Mike is
to
not
I
bi.
don't
We
care.
You're gonna be like Janice and Goodfellas.
I don't
like,
care.
you don't have to do shit.
Here's why. Okay? Because it's not like I could enjoy my life after that. Let me explain to you the history of getting butt fucked. Edward Norton.
You mean
in
in the history of the world? Or
yes, Edward Norton in American history. All right, so let's start off
You think the
even
beginning
earlier.
of butt fucking is
Ned
Starts with American History.
No,
X.
Ned Beatty in
Oh, that was rough
in-
because
in
Ned
Deliverance,
Beatty's like,
right?
just-
Yeah, I got you.
He's
He
so
gets-
doughy.
he gets
That's what worries us.
Yeah.
he,
In the
he,
woods.
he takes it in Deliverance, right?
Right in the
After that
twins.
happens, he barely speaks the rest of the movie. Okay, there's the one thing that happens. Okay, now let's wait. Let's move on. American History X. He is a Nazi. He's a full-blown Nazi.
Yeah.
Has been so dedicated to being a Nazi. He got the swastika tattooed on him.
Yeah.
He's a piece of shit Nazi. Everyone knows he's a piece of shit. He doesn't care. He's not changing his mind. He strongly believes in it. He
Okay.
gets ass raped.
Yeah.
Not a Nazi anymore.
Here's the fault in your logic.
There's another one. There's one
Go ahead,
more.
go for it,
There's
go
a
for
big
it.
one.
Go for it.
He, Joaquin Phoenix is the Joker. He's the biggest villain in any movie. He won an Oscar for the first movie. Huge. He gets butt raped in the second movie. The movie tanked. He gets killed at the end. He doesn't want to be the Joker anymore after.
Yep.
That's it. It
Okay.
changes you.
Here's
is what
the
I'm
fault
saying.
in your logic.
It changes you.
Here's the fault in your logic. Anal doesn't change you. You're talking about rape.
yeah.
Yeah,
is
this is a loving,
This isn't-
consensual
this isn't
situation.
like-
It's not consensual. I'm
He's
saying I don't
he's
want it
not
to happen.
holding you down.
That's the argument here is what would it take to make this consensual? It is not, the scenario is not he holds you down twice and he's like,
Yeah.
you're gonna take this dick.
Yeah,
And then you
he's
get
gonna
all
be
this
like,
nice
squeal
stuff.
like a pig for
No,
me.
if you say no, you don't get fucked.
He's gonna take you to dinner.
But you don't get all that stuff.
I don't want it. I don't want that stuff.
You know what was
I'm not
so
a
funny
materialistic guy.
was after your father-in-law came out, and we were like,
Oh, then he actually, this whole scenario happened before you met him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
didn't even know what he looked like.
Right, yeah,
we
yeah,
just
yeah.
knew he was in there.
Yeah.
And we were crying, laughing at this.
That's why I kept going.
It was
But
fun.
then when
It was
he
very
walked
funny.
out, I saw Waldo just got real serious, and he turned to me and he was like, I don't like this anymore. And I
Like, I
was
just
like,
met a
why?
nice guy.
He was like, because seeing him just made it too real.
Yeah, because by the way, like the best fucking father, like this is a good dude.
I'm sure. That's why I
he's
was
a
doing it. I
great
thought it was
dude.
funny,
So
yeah.
but that's kind of why it was funny because you know what I mean.
He's
Like,
just so innocent. He didn't know. He's just this older dude who's having a night out with his wife, laughing at Jim Florentine and fucking 10 feet away. I'm like,
10 feet away
I'm
at a
gonna
horror
fuck
show."
your father-in-law. I'm gonna confuse him. And
You want to?
confuse him.
Now hold on just one
Gonna
second.
confuse him.
Kahuna, bring out Carmelo's father-in-law.
that would be awesome.
He might
Yeah.
be sleeping.
The studio. All real possibilities. My father-in-law does not live too far away, and Goon is definitely slipping. Those are all real possibilities. Right
I
now.
would never in a million years.
But it takes you back to those scenarios when you're like, you know, when you're like a teenager. Oh, you know, like when you're a teenager and there's all that like, would you suck a dick for $1 million and all that shit. It's like I remember even as a kid, like I definitely put up the facade as a kid, be like, oh no, but I was like $1 million. I think as a young kid, I kind of knew like $1 million would be pretty nice. One dick sucking. What? One dick sucking.
no, it would have. I mean, it's in your mouth. Dick sucking
Yeah,
a dick
yeah,
is
that's-
almost more.
I'm sorry. We know what a dick sucking is.
Yeah, but
you for $1 million.
That's worse.
What do you mean?
Sucking a dick, you actually have to do something. Getting fucked, you just have to kind of put yourself somewhere else.
You said you'd let him blow you.
I wouldn't really let him do any of this shit. This was all like I said I just
pretty
got
convincing.
dude.
Pretty convincing.
I get off stage. I had a good set. I was like happy. I'm like now I'm just. You guys started laughing at me saying it, so I'm like let me just keep going. You kept laughing, so I was like yeah.
No, I'm not convinced.
I had fun. I had fun talking about it too. I don't take it back.
That was a funny.
It was fun.
$2
million.
No.
Just
you know
suck a
what?
dick.
You know what? You can convince me.
Tell me the money.
If it's not about them. It's not the money. It's like
$1 million, 7 minutes, or until he whichever is less, 7 minutes or until he nuts.
Right.
That's horrible.
And I feel like you could do it in under 7 minutes.
Oh, like if I could fuck him under?
No. You're sucking a dick in this scenario.
No. Oh no. Yeah. I don't want to do that either.
Dude, it's fucking 7 minutes.
You know what? If it would have to be
7 minutes.
If somebody could come up with a scenario where I'm like, all right, hold on, maybe like if you came to me, if Marvel came to me, and they were like, we'll fire Tom Holland, you could be the new Spider-Man. You get a 10-picture deal, and they're gonna be the best Spider-Man movies ever, and then from that your career brand, you could do whatever else you want.
Yeah,
I still probably would be like. Give me like a couple days to think about it.
That would be so great because I'd be telling everybody, like, I know Spider-Man and you will never believe what he had to do to get this job.
Yeah, you got web shot all over his face.
I
would say give me a few days to prepare. That's what I would say. Just give me a few days because there's not even like if it's not something.
Well, that's what I would do in those few days. I'd be like shoving stuff up my butt to see like, could I really deal with this?
Now we're talking dick sucking.
I don't want to do that at all. That's different. That's worse than getting butt fucked because you have to try. You have to try.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. You think it'd be worse?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What if it's dependent on like you got to make it look like you're into this?
Oh yeah. Then I wouldn't be able to do it, dude. I'd be throwing up and crying the whole time. I wouldn't be able to do that.
I don't think you have to be into it, right? Like I mean, that would be an added layer to that thing, I guess. But I don't think you have to be into it.
Oh, you know what would really be bad? If he put his hand on my head, that would I'm killing myself after.
Yeah.
Because that means he likes it.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, he'll like it.
It's the little things, right?
It's
the little things. It's the little things like
the subtleties.
If I hear him, I can't even say. If I hear him moan, if he like
a guy moaning,
if he gets a little too into it, he puts his hand on my head or he starts like saying shit.
I'll tell you what, I'd rather a guy put his hand on my head than like pet my cheek. If he got tender with me, I'd be real freaked out.
But he freaked out through the whole thing. What about you? Would you let? Okay, let me give you both a scenario now. I'll do you first. Okay, so would you let now?
Yes, no matter what.
You would. So the same thing. Like you don't have to worry about anything. Your kid's college is paid for. Your house is paid off. You're living comfortable. You don't have to work. You get checks monthly. You get you get checks for $1 million monthly, right? And you have to get butt fucked by him, and he's gonna spank you and like spit on your back and shit.
How many times?
Twice a week.
Twice a week.
That's what you gave me. You know what? Once a week.
I said bi-monthly.
Right.
All right, bi-monthly. Would you do it?
Well, the scenario in which you said, which is this is my life now and I have a kid, no. If I was single.
Why not?
No.
Your kid's taken care of. Her college is paid for.
Nobody finds out.
Yeah, but no.
She just thinks daddy's going to work.
We're talking about a different. So the answer is no because I'm married with a kid. If I was single, I would seriously consider this.
But you wouldn't. But it's not a yes. You would consider it.
I would. Yeah, but I would strongly consider it.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Because the line for me is this loyalty to my family.
They know. Your wife's like,
you talk it out with your wife. Your wife is like, you got to do this for us.
Oh, she's a
your kid's college.
I got to be honest with you.
Think of how much money you could leave your kid.
Scale back one more element. If I didn't have a kid, but I was married, and she's like, you got to do this for us, maybe I would still consider it.
What is having a kid
part? Because it just feels like I'm lying to my kid.
You could tell her if you want, but you don't have to.
If she ever asks.
So don't tell your kid.
Yeah, you
by
just
the way, if you're out there and this scenario presents itself to you, don't tell your kid. It's going to put them in therapy.
You got to answer like you're in the mob. It's construction.
It's the having a kid part that's a hard no. But minus that. Like if I was in your scenario.
So yes or no?
I would strongly. No. In my current life now, no. In your life, yes.
You would do it in my life, but you're you.
I'm me. Yeah. I'm not disassociated. I'm not like, switching brains with you. We're not Freaky Fridaying this situation. I'm saying that or big or whatever.
So you would
big would be
do
a better title for this.
So you would do it.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Twice a week's a rough one. But also, remember, this scenario happened because you were willing to do something.
I was kidding.
No. Yeah, now you know what's happening now. Now he's getting freaked out because he knows he's getting the DMs.
You think they were bad before?
I was kidding.
Because he told us a scenario about a woman eating his ass.
Yeah.
And his fucking entire DMs
And I didn't like that. I don't want anything by my ass. I didn't even enjoy that.
What was the one message you got that was like, yeah, you got to let it go? Like,
I got a guy. I got a message from a guy who's like, they're just not doing it right.
Isn't that weird when you have to read that and like the dude's name is Steve?
Yeah.
I got excited at first because I read it and I didn't read the name or look at the picture first.
Somebody wants to eat my ass.
Maybe someone knows what they're doing. I mean, look. Yeah. I just don't want to get butt fucked. That's really, and I don't want to suck a dick.
I'll tell you, but
money, it makes it even dirtier.
One-time scenario thing.
What about for love?
It's very different.
For love, I would do it because that would make me gay. For love, I would do it.
Yeah, no, but the one-time scenario thing is a completely different thing than the scenario we were talking about, which is like, this is a lifelong. You're gonna have to get fucked for years. That's a
okay.
One.
So one.
That's
time,
a tougher one.
So
the one-time dick sucking for like a few $1 million, say $5 million.
$5 million.
You gotta blow this, but you gotta blow.
Okay.
I mean, you gotta
$5
blow.
million bucks. I would sit my wife.
You can't be like a married woman anniversary blow. You gotta fucking blow this guy.
$5 million. You would do that?
Tax-free. Government never finds out.
You would do it?
Yes.
For $5 million, you'd suck a dick and you would enjoy it and you'd smile and be. You would.
I don't know that I would enjoy it, but I'd smile.
I wouldn't actually enjoy it, but I would pretend to enjoy it.
I'd have a bib. Knife, I'd be like, bring it.
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't.
For $5 million, if I sat my wife down and she was like, "I'm okay with this $5 million, that covers the kids' college. Like we're set. We could buy a house by the beach. Done." Yeah. If she's okay with it
I
one
have
time.
to lie to my family about the one time, I could do that.
You know what I love about this whole thing right now is that we're sitting here talking about this, and 3 feet away, I'm watching families eat with each other in the food court of Bellworks.
Yeah, we'll take any one of those dads and present them with this scenario. You might get some takers.
So you're saying you would do it, and you're saying you would also do it.
One time, $5 million?
If my wife,
I gotta suck one dick for $5 million?
Yeah.
It's not even a fucking. I wouldn't
now
debate
you would
it.
do it now.
Right, like literally right
So
now.
all
what's
right,
the difference?
Kahuna, bring out the dick.
I would just push this mic away, replace it with a dick.
What's your
and
Venmo?
Just be like this. And
What's your Venmo? I'll give it to you. I'll put it in the.
But
cash.
Sicoli's like, do you take post-dated checks?
You know what just happened to me actually?
I think we're gonna be really successful in 10 years. Can we do that?
I had to block a girl recently. I went on a couple dates with, and it got a little weird. She was just a little weird, like to where I'm like, she kept hitting me up and stuff. Okay. So I blocked her. I blocked her on Facebook, Instagram. I blocked her number.
Or is that,
it's getting a little weird, a little stalkery. Right. Hit me up a lot, like saying weird shit. So I was like, whatever. I just blocked her. I was like, I don't have to deal with it. Blocked. And then she Venmo'd me. She Venmo'd me $30 and just wrote, "Hey." Just talk to me in Venmo.
That was the way to talk to you.
So I was like, whoa. And $30, you could send $1 through Venmo, but she sent me $30. I was like, that's an expensive hey. So I'm like, I got to block her on fucking Venmo now? This really happened.
Yeah, but you could just keep sending you money.
But they were like, if you're going to block somebody, you got to cancel the transaction. And I was like, I'll just delete the app.
You cashed out first?
No, I didn't. I sent it back. But I thought that was so weird. Like, where'd you get $30 from?
Yeah, that's a level of like, that's a person you have to worry about.
Yeah, and now I get worried for all apps. Now I
might have to worry about because the idea, her brain problem solved. How do I continue to bother him? Knowing she was blocked.
Now I'm worried I'm going to call an Uber. And I'm going to get in the Uber. I'm going to hear the child locks, and she's going to be in the fucking front seat. Like, miss me?
Yeah, no, I'll tell you something. That might seem like a subtle thing. That's a person to fucking worry about. Because what her brain had to, the loopholes her brain had to go through to get to, how do I get to him? Right? Yeah. And then she thought, wait a minute. Most people's brains wouldn't go to Venmo.
No.
Most people's brains wouldn't take them there because they'd just be like, well, fuck him. They'd be more angry at you for blocking them than anything. When someone goes, I know this person doesn't want to see me, but I'm going to reach out. I'm going to find a way to get to them even though they don't want to see me. And I'm going to act like nothing's wrong. That is a person to fucking watch out about. Like, that is a dangerous potentially person. I'm not saying she's gonna hurt you, but dangerous in your life. Like not a toxic, crazy person. Because the fucking thought process of a person like that is like, I don't care what it takes.
Yeah,
that's a
scary.
person who does not care because she's fucking sent you money to say hi.
Too many people watch too many like romantic comedies. Like,
Yeah.
you ever watch a romantic comedy and you're like, if you ever did
They're
this
like,
shit,
"That's cute."
showing up at the airport before I get on a flight,
Yeah, psycho.
What kind of fucking behavior is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do. I know so many people who think their life is like a romantic comedy, and they're like, I have to do this or I have to do that,
Yeah.
and that fucks people up. Like, too many people think their life is a movie. That's not how it works. You'll get a restraining order. You will look like an asshole to your friend. You'll lose everybody. If
First
you think
off,
that's
that
how it
flight is going to be delayed at least 11 hours.
Yeah, if they're
You're
flying
gonna,
out of Newark,
by the
yeah.
time they actually land, the flowers will have wilted.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's at Newark, you're going back home that day anyway.
Did you see the video of the airplane?
No, I don't want. I have to get on one next week. I'm avoiding that
At
shit.
Newark.
At Newark?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it was like a tire above the car. That's how low it came to the turnpike before it landed on the.
Oh my God.
It was insane, dude. It was so scary that a guy was just filming the plane coming to land because it's cool, even when this shit isn't going on. You're like, oh wow, look how close it is. His wife was in the passenger seat and she was like, ah, like screaming because it was so close. It was scary.
Yeah,
just from the video alone, I was like, ah. And then that fucking the boat too. That was another video I saw.
Right.
The boat that hit the bridge.
Oh, the Mexican Navy.
With the
my
people
God.
on it? Yeah, that was horrible.
That
I
was
felt
crazy.
bad.
See how fucking person just go flying off
Yeah,
the
did you
fucking
see that
sail?
asshole recording? It's like, oh,
someone was
like laughing.
Yeah.
KP said the funniest fucking thing I've ever heard. We were texting about it, and he goes, I bet that boat was the MSS 13.
That's funny.
See, those are the things you need to worry about in life. Little ass fucking. Dude, just listen.
Got to watch out for the Mexican Navy.
I feel like you really want me to be your father-in-law.
You wouldn't. Well, oh yeah, no. In this
This
scenario,
whole
this
scenario started
right.
was because I thought your mother-in-law was hot. That's why it started. This whole thing. And now all of a sudden, 15 minutes later, I'm fucking your father-in-law.
I gotta be
Does
honest
your
with
wife
you, you
listen-
getting fucked by him, or fucking him or whatever, bothers me less than the fact that, like, where to get weird is like seeing you like in a Thanksgiving. That's where like you with a sweater at Thanksgiving. That's where it would get a little too real to me, and I'd be like, oh
All right.
man,
No butt fucking,
I don't want to do it.
but you got a 69 with him 4 times a year. Quarterly.
No.
Once a quarter. Set for life.
No.
4 times a year for 5 years, and then you were set at the end of 5 years.
There's an end date.
At the
There's an
end of
date.
5 years, you are set for life.
You 20.
So that's 20
69s
with Carmelo's father-in-law.
Oh, no.
And then you're set for life.
No.
for life.
69. That's gross,
I
dude.
know. That's bad. I'm not trying to make it a cakewalk.
Dude, you know what the thing is? If you were to tell me, like, if you were to say this is a 90-year... All right, so, like, if you were to say a 90-year-old woman is going to peg you for, bi-weekly, and then she'll give you $1 million. If it was the same thing, but a woman was doing it, like, pegging me, I don't want to get pegged.
Yeah.
But I would say yes before it was Carmelo's father
Well, you
or
heard
some
it
other
here,
guy.
folks. He's homophobic. That's
I don't want to.
That's
I
where
like.
it comes down
I
to.
like women. Like I had a friend of mine. Who
Dude,
told
it's so
me
gay that you only like women.
I had a friend of mine who told me he got pegged, and he was like, it was something he did with his girlfriend, and he told me everything. He was like, we went to the sex shop and she let me pick it out,
Oh, God.
and I was like, she let you pick it out. I was like, how do you go about picking it out? I was like, other than picking the smallest one.
small-
you
I know.
know.
That's what I was
I
gonna
would
say.
I would have held up a Q-tip and been like, found it.
Yeah.
Got it.
But they're all shaped like dicks.
Yeah.
Well,
It's a
but-
dick
That's
in
what
your
you
butt.
Q-tip, yeah.
It's a penis in your butt. Like,
Yeah.
even if it's fucking plastic, it's still shaped like a dick.
Yeah.
Why? Why?
Well, because that's just what they make them. They make them like dicks.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd be able to pick one out. I'd be like, do you have any that don't look like that? That don't have a head? Do you have any like that?
Yeah, you have just like a fake banana looking one.
Yeah, I'll tell you that's fine. But it's a dick.
Yeah, it's got fake veins on it.
Yeah,
I don't want
dude.
that,
It's detailed.
Right.
It's not for me. People are into stuff. I'm not going to sit here and shame people. If you like, getting pegged, if you're gay, congratulate. Good.
Have at it.
Be gay. Do what
Yeah.
you want. Fuck right there if you want to. I don't care. I don't want that to happen to me.
I would like you not to
I've
fuck
lived
right
with
there.
I've lived with gay people. I've had gay roommates,
Right,
lesbians and
Yeah,
dudes.
yeah, right.
Doesn't bother me. Never had a problem.
Yeah.
He have guys all over all the time. I'd talk to them. I'd be cool. When I lived with my cousin.
Look how progressive. He's like, I talked to him.
I've talked to him. I'd be cool. No problem. We go
when they were
fishing.
gay,
I would do
hello.
stuff. But I just
Hey, dude, you gay? You
yeah,
gay, dude?
I mean, if one time when I lived with my cousin, I was fat when I lived there. I was like 215, and I was short.
Completely unfuckable. Yeah,
I didn't have a beard, but I still had a fade,
Yeah.
and I lived with my lesbian cousin and her girlfriend, and I just looked like the third lesbian in the house. So I lived with them. I've been mistaken for both. So I don't have a problem with it. I just don't want to get fucked in the ass, guys. That's all I don't want to do, or blow anybody.
All right, so he's still considering it. That's where we're going to drop this. That's where we're going to drop this episode.
Yeah.
That you're still thinking about it. We'll get you there.
Man, that 20 minutes in Smodcastle talking about this really came back.
Yeah.
In full force.
Me and Waldo were still texting about it the next day. Waldo was like, I think I need to see this for like.
You guys
for
gotta
my
have
life.
Waldo on.
We got him.
would be
I think we
fun.
got
we
him
have
coming
him
in a few
scheduled
weeks.
already.
Nice.
Yeah. You got anything to plug? Besides your ass?
Besides my I'm gonna be in Richmond, Virginia tomorrow, and then
What, you think we're
this doesn't
putting
come
this
out.
out
This
today?
doesn't come out for when does this come out?
Like a month from
yeah.
now.
I'll be in Buffalo, July 24th at the Kaz. So come out to that. That's gonna be fun. I'm gonna be there.
We're going to be in Asbury Park.
And we're going to be in Asbury Park in July. I think it's July 21st.
I
Come
think
to
it's
Layla.
June
June 21st.
21st.
By the way.
Yeah.
Great place to get buffalo.
Yeah.
Is it June or July?
I don't know. I think
it's June.
It's one of the J's. It might
We'll
be
just
June.
show up in Asbury Park either June
One of the
or
J's.
July
June?
21st.
One of the J's.
One of the J's. You're going to be there with one of the J's.
July.
All right. Bit Too Much Podcast, all the socials. Bye.